Ladies and gentlemen, Hero Games absolutely outdid themselves. Or at least that's what you're going to say after you see what we got in store in this video. What's good, guys? It's your boy CJ, and today we got some pretty interesting content. Let's hop right in. First off, let's talk about a new coloring system for characters and cosmetics in the game. As we know, the current coloring system in the game is rather lackluster. It's just not good for players or developers. Players don't really have a lot of freedom to express how they want their characters to look, and developers really make no money from this. So we're going to really talk about and show you guys exactly how we can change this to benefit pretty much everybody. Okay, first and foremost, we got to be honest with you guys. There are several things that need to change regarding the coloring system. The first one being craftable paints. We need the ability to actually craft paints. This is going to incentivize players to go out and grind, and it's also going to give them the ability to actually paint their characters as much as they want. Now, if you're a developer, you might be thinking, but hold on, why would we do that? We won't make money. Well, this is where the next part comes in. Color palettes, ladies and gentlemen. We need color palettes in the game because these one-time paints, they're good, and that's why you should be able to craft them so you can put them on your characters, and they're going to be expensive, they're going to be a grind, but you're going to be able to do it absolutely free, but they are going to be one-time use on the specific slot you select. But if you decide to buy a color palette for a nice price of like $5 per palette, which is not too much, you'll have unlimited use of the colors you want on wherever you want. They can also go ahead and do bundles, and this right here would be extremely lucrative for the developers. It would also be very good for players that are looking to spend a little bit of money, because a nice little $5 would get you some nice colors that you can continuously use on your characters. Personally, I think this is a massive thing. Now, the next thing we really got to talk about is the ability to color your base outfits. This is another opportunity for me to showcase the color palettes, but simply put, the ability to color the base outfits is going to give us so much variety in the game, player expression, and all that good stuff, and it's going to allow players to want to do more things to make their characters look cooler. Now, I know that the pictures I'm showing you on screen aren't the best, these aren't the best details, but hey, this video took a while, and I just wanted to show you guys how it could look. Obviously, it would look better with more detail and with more color variety, but this is just a quick, simple showcase. Nonetheless, the ability to both use color palettes that you purchase would be really cool because it hits two spots. It would allow developers to make some money, and it would allow players to look different. Overall, I think this is a massive thing that if added to the game, it could actually improve the way that players feel when it comes to customization, and it could give some extra money to the developers. Overall, this is the first big thing that I think should be added to the game regarding customization. The next thing we're going to talk about is the monthly pass. Ladies and gentlemen, I think the monthly pass is still a little bit underwhelming, and the main reason for that is this is one of the only games that I know that has a monthly pass that gives you currency that you cannot use on the premium banners. And I think that's a little bit of a mistake. Personally, I am happy with the fact that we get commission manuals. That is pretty nice. But I think to make this pass more worth it, they should absolutely give us 5 prismatic hourglasses upon purchase, and you can only stack 3 of these, which is pretty good. It would incentivize people to absolutely buy these, and then on top of that, with the Fox scene, you should be able to buy 5 prismatic hourglasses per month. That's a total of 10 prismatic hourglasses per month by simply buying the monthly pass. It would give insane value to the monthly pass, and it would actually incentivize players to get it, and it wouldn't be too broken to where people would get this and not get anything else in order to get their skins. Overall, I think this would be a major change for the monthly pass, and it would incentivize a lot of people to actually get it, and it would actually make it worth it. For the next thing, we're going to talk about the limited banner outfits and cosmetics. Overall, this is not a bad feature, and they can absolutely keep the gacha banners for costumes in the game. But I personally feel there's a big change they can do to both incentivize people purchasing and also make things that much better for pretty much everybody. As always, the idea behind all of these things is making sure both the players and the devs are able to benefit from these changes. So let's actually go ahead and take a look, and I'll show you guys exactly what I mean. So the big thing I'm talking about is bundles, ladies and gentlemen. I absolutely think that skins should be sold via bundles, and it's quite simple. The banner, I think it's fine and it can stay, but it has some things that are not fine and should definitely not stay, and that is the fact that pity doesn't transfer. Pity should absolutely transfer between banners, and then on top of that, since this is not your traditional gacha game, the reality of it is that a lot of people that might want to spend a little bit of money in the game won't do it for a skin, especially if it has the chance to cost them $100 or $200. They might just skip it. So I think bundles would be really good, as it would incentivize players to actually drop a couple of bucks to get themselves some fancy things. So we have 3 levels to these bundles. The first one is bundle 1, which gives you the featured skin. Bundle 2 is going to give you the skin and is going to give you the featured weapon skin. And bundle 3 is going to give you the skin, is going to give you the weapon skin, and is going to give you one selector from the cosmetics of the season. Pretty much the cosmetics from that particular banner set. It's overall a pretty good system, and it would incentivize players to purchase. So right here we pretty much have the example. Ocean's Rhythm Bundle 1, you pay $29.99 and you get yourself your Fushu skin. People can still actually go ahead and summon because they'll still have, prismatic hourglasses. So free to plays can absolutely get the skins, and people that don't want to buy these every time could also use their prismatic hourglasses and decide when they purchase and when they actually skip, which is really good. 30 bucks for a skin that not only gives you the skin, but it gives you the profile, and it also has special effect animations on the abilities, I think is absolutely fine. Then we have Ocean Rhythms Bundle 2, the second bundle, which gives you the skin, gives you the weapon, and it gives you a little cosmetic attachment for $49.99. I still think this is all right. Once again, we have the special effects on the cosmetics, and I think it's overall okay. Might be a little expensive, but I still think it's okay. And then we have Ocean's Rhythm Bundle 3, which is the big pack, which is going to give you the skin, the weapon skin, and one of each cosmetic from the current banner. You won't be able to get all the cosmetics, but you'll be able to get one of each type. So for example, we have the Ripple Melody Opaque White. You can select the white, the red, the blue, whichever one you want, but only one. All of this would still incentivize people to go ahead and summon for some of the other things on there in case they want to have more variety when it comes to their building. But this is a guaranteed bundle that gives you all of these goodies, and there's a lot of people out there that would be willing to spend for such a good bundle. Now, once again, before we move on to the next one, guys, these are just ideas, right? So devs, feel free to tweak these as much as you want, but the gist of it is the same. Bundles would actually net you guys some pretty good money. Now, this next one is pretty damn simple, and I'm sure it's on the way. Nonetheless, I kind of wanted to give you guys some images so you guys can have a look and maybe picture what it could be in the future. Keep in mind, I am no professional designer, so I'm sure the devs will do 10 times better when it comes to this. Nonetheless, here is what we have right now. I feel that they can actually go out of the way to give us skins that are not gacha skins and could be put out there for a decent price, allowing players to want to get some of these skins. And they could actually put skins that are very basic, like casual wear outfits, as you can see right here: casual Hellfire, casual Fina, chill Zyke, office Sybil. These are pretty damn basic outfits, just casual wear, and you'd be able to purchase these for, let's say, $5-10 to give your characters new looks. They wouldn't be too hard for the devs to make, and once again, it'll be outfits that aren't on the same price as everything else because they're just simple basic outfits, and it would give people a lot more variety and a reason to buy skins for their favorite characters. And then after that, we can go into the expensive fancy outfits that we have right here: Lifeguard Rebecca, Bikini Zilliu, Bikini Nipple, Cowgirl Leon. And I'm sure you guys are looking at this like, damn, let me get 2 of those right now. And I'm telling y'all, skins like these would sell a lot. And I know Zilliu is a character that's going to get her featured skin and all of that, but characters like Rebecca, Niffle, or Lynn that are older characters would benefit a lot from getting outfits like this. And you guys can tell they look very good. You would absolutely go out of your way to buy some of these, or tell me I'm wrong. So absolutely they should do this. And as you guys can see, we've actually added little tabs that you can click for the different types of outfits. And that's also something that would be pretty cool. They could go about themes. So like bunny costumes, swimwear, casual wear, battle armor, so forth and so on, and different outfits would cost different amounts of money. For example, casual wear could cost $5 to $10, whereas bikini outfits could cost 20 to 25, and then you would have things with like special effects like the gacha outfits that could cost like 30 or so. Nonetheless, I think this idea would be really good, and it would give players all of these fancy outfits for their favorite characters. You know what, and while we're at it, throw in some cosmetics for our genie mons. Why the hell not, okay? Ooh, this next one I know you guys are really gonna like. Are you tired of hearing Snow's voice? Are you tired of hearing the same voice line 57 times a day as you're farming your wedges and every other types of mission? Well, I think developers should give us character voice packs. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they should allow us to buy commentator voice packs for your favorite characters. This is pretty damn simple. You go ahead, you buy the commentator voice pack for a character you like, you select it, and instead of annoying Snow talking to you every time you finish a mission, you have your favorite character saying something sweet in your ear. I think this would be really good. And for $4.99, it's just another way for the developers to make money and for all of us to have our favorite character yapping something in our ear. Now, this next one, guys, is a little bit interesting because it revolves around an item that caused a lot of controversy. And even though I personally think this item is a luxury item that is only meant to be purchased by people that literally don't want to play the game and grind, but still want to be strong as hell, this item should definitely have some changes or improvements added into the game, and that is none other than the amplification stimulator. When it comes to this particular item, it's going to actually cost you about $35 to purchase it outside of the first time purchases. So $35 for this item, in my opinion, is a little bit too expensive considering the fact that it doesn't really have that much of an impact, and the only time you would use it is when you're trying to maybe plus 10 a wedge from plus 9, and at that point you're paying a little over $100 for that, and I don't think that's worth it. I don't think it would incentivize people to buy it, and even though I'm sure there are some whales out there that got money to blow, I feel that this item should be a little more affordable. So I'm going to give you guys some ideas of what I got in mind, and you guys feel free to tell me exactly what you guys think. The first one being the price of amplificators should be lowered to 680 plumules. I feel that $10 for one of these items is absolutely a fair price. Currently charging $35 for these might be a little bit too much. I'm gonna be real with you. I think that these items at $35 are not gonna sell a lot. They're not really gonna give you the bang for your buck, and they're not going to entice almost anybody to purchase them. I have people that have spent hundreds upon hundreds of dollars in this game, and they still say they will never buy one of these things because $35 to save you maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours of grind is a little bit too much. Not a lot of people even make $35 an hour to be spending that on one of these items. So I think that lowering it down to $10 on a regular price would be a lot more affordable, and a lot more people would be able to afford these and actually buy them. Now, the next thing that I actually want to talk about is actually quite interesting, and that is monthly bundles. We just talked about how the normal price of one of these items would be $10. I feel that once a month, we should be able to buy one amplificator for $4.99. $5 would be pretty good. And once again, you start feeding your players these items, and they're going to want to fiend for more. They're going to want more of them. But no matter how many of these they want, they ain't going to pay $35 for one of them. But $10? $5 on one monthly is actually very affordable, and a lot of people might actually go out of their way and buy these. And the second one is the amplification bundle for $24.99, and it would give you 3. This would guarantee that you would instantly be able to take one wedge from plus 9 to plus 10. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is still cheaper than the current price for just one. I'm sure you guys sold quite a few of these to maybe a few whales, but I don't think you're going to make a lot of money with this. Whereas with these bundles, once again, you start pretty much throwing bait out there, letting people say, yo, $4.99 for one of these is kind of nice. I'm going to buy it. I guarantee you, you would sell more of that $4.99 bundle on the first month of introducing it to the game that you've sold in the whole time that the current amplification stimulator has been in the game. Same for the bundles. You would sell that bundle like hotcakes, and you guys wouldn't be breaking the way the game plays. You wouldn't be making things extremely easy. You would be satisfying your paying customers, because right now, ideally, you guys got to make money, the developers, and your paying customers want to feel that they're getting value out of their money. And in all reality, even I that spend money, and tons of people, I have people in my community that have spent thousands of dollars, they are not buying amplification stimulators. This is just one idea. What do you guys think? Now, for this next one, I think I have something that, in my opinion, would change the way we play the game. It would make it so much better, and it would change the quality of life for players. And I know it doesn't follow the same pattern of everything so far, which is making the game generate more money while also satisfying their players. I do think this is an absolute necessity for the longevity of the game and to make playing that much better and that much smoother. And that is none other than the Wedge Maxer Shop, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you heard it here first. The Wedge Maxer Shop would be something that would make things so much better. Right here on screen, you guys kind of have an example of how it could work. You'd be able to buy a certain amount of gold blueprints every month. 4 globules or another resource. I don't know. I'm just giving an idea. Globules are directly tied to demon wedges, so I think it would be pretty good. Right here, you'd be able to buy all the blueprints for demon wedges that you normally buy from the Covert Commission shop, but you'd be able to buy a limited amount of them for globules, which I think would be really damn good. It'd be pretty damn chill. You'll also be able to actually buy some globules for coins, which is really good. And once again, we'll be able to buy that amplification stimulator 1 per month. This would be absolutely massive, ladies and gentlemen. It would be such a valuable shop. It would easily become everybody's favorite monthly shop for progression without a shadow of a doubt. But it doesn't even end there. We have the Wedge Maxer conversion. Now here, pretty much, you're going to be able to exchange one type of demon wedge for another within the same category. So for example, you'll be able to exchange covenanters for covenanters. You'll be able to exchange griffins for griffins. You would want to keep it in the same family at a ratio of 3-to-1. So you would need to give 3 and you would receive 1, and you would have to pay 1,000 globules for every exchange. Now, the numbers and the actual exchange rates can vary, but you guys get the gist of it. Maybe you'll have a limited amount of exchanges that you can do per week. Let's say a total of 10, a total of 20. I don't know. Maybe it's unlimited, but this would be a massive feature if the devs decided to add this into the game. It would make farming that much easier. It would make it smoother. It would make it fun. It wouldn't feel like you're just wasting your time, because every single aspect would be covered. Overall, I think this is probably the most important feature when it comes to, the whole wedging system. Everything else I've talked about is also important, but the Wedge Maxer Shop is an absolute must for the future of Duet Night Abyss. And that pretty much wraps up the video, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what else you want to see implemented, added, improved, and all of that in the comment section below. It took me a while to make this video because I actually had to go out of my way and make all the images you just saw on screen. I know they're not perfect, but I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a visual regarding how some of these things can be implemented. At the end of the day, I just want to clarify, I'm not a dev. I'm not a professional game designer. I don't know what they got going on. I just wanted to provide my 2 cents with some ideas, and I got a ton more. I literally have a list of about 40 things that could be improved or changed in the game, but I just haven't had the time to do all of that because I still got to stream, I still got to make more videos and all that good stuff. Nonetheless, I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on bell notifications. Don't forget to join our Discord and tune in for the live streams. For now, peace.